monopolized. That's why we also get good coffee to drink in Panama. In the other countries, coffee is monopolized by governments or by cooperatives. I met a person from Nicaragua 2 months ago, and he told me he didn't know Nicaragua was producing very good coffee until he got USA. In Costa Rica, by a government law, it was illegal to sell high-quality coffee beans in the country because they wanted to export the good ones to make more money. Colombia makes the most famous coffee around the world. Colombia is well known for coffee and other things. Yeah. But in Colombia there is a cooperative. It's called Juan Valdez. So a lot of coffee growers they have to sell the coffee through Juan Valdez in Colombia. Juan Valdez represents about 560,000 coffee growers.
Oh my gosh.
560,000 coffee farms in one brand. Juan Valdez. They show on the television a man pulling a donkey with a coffee bag. They had Juan Valdez, but Juan Valdez didn't exist. The name of the name of the actor was Jose Duval, and he didn't have a donkey; he had a 4x4. In Panama, every coffee grower is independent. That's why Cafe Ruiz is a private company. Cafe Ruiz is owned by a Panamanian. The owner is from Boquete. Mr. Ruiz was born in Boquete. Now Mr. Ruiz is 87 years old. He's 87, but he keeps working. Mr. Ruiz keeps driving his car. He looks like a bull. Yeah, he drinks a lot of coffee. But Mr. Ruiz is very proud because his sons and daughters are also working in the company. He has 2 sons and 2 daughters. One of the sons met his wife in Germany. So now he's living in a city called Stuttgart, Germany, and he's selling Cafe Ruiz in Europe from Stuttgart. One of the daughters is living in USA. She lives in Ohio.
I talked to her yesterday.
Now she's selling Cafe Ruiz in USA and Canada.
Okay.
The other 2 children are living in Boquete with Mr. Ruiz. One of them is taking care of the coffee farms. One of them is taking care of the processing plants. So they founded Cafe Ruiz as a family business. Cafe Ruiz has 11 coffee farms around Boquete. So today we just came to see one of the 11 coffee farms we have. Mr. Ruiz bought this coffee farm from other person about 25 years ago. But some of the coffee trees in this farm are more than 90 years old. A coffee tree lives longer than 200 years. A coffee tree grows taller than 6 meters. Taller than 6 meters, but every 5-7 years we prune them to keep them short because 6-7 meters.
Right.
I am one of the tallest Panamanians. By hand, so it's more difficult. But some of the best coffee we're making is coming from the oldest coffee trees. Boquete grows very good coffee. Boquete grows a type of coffee called Arabica. Arabica is the best variety of coffee around the world. Arabica coffee grows very well in Boquete, but it is not from Boquete regionally. Arabica coffee came from Ethiopia in Africa, where if you look at the map, you see Ethiopia and Panama, same latitude. Boquete has the perfect conditions to grow Arabica coffee because Arabica coffee needs to grow on high elevation. Minimum 1,200 meters, maximum 1,700 meters. Arabica coffee also needs a lot of water. In Boquete, we don't know what dry season means.
Right.
Boquete it rains a lot all year round, and that's why Boquete keeps green all year round too. Arabica coffee also came from volcanic soil. Volcanic soil is very fertile, very rich, very good to grow coffee. That's why our coffee farms are on the way up to the volcano. That's a volcano, that mountain, Volcan Baru, the highest point in Panama. So we also get volcanic soil in our coffee farms, and that's why Boquete grows some of the best coffees in the world. Panama is the smallest coffee producer around the world. Panama produces the smallest amount of coffee in the world. So you came to learn about coffee, the smallest coffee producer. And you came on time to see coffee in Panama because coffee in Panama is disappearing little by little. Every year, Panama is producing less and less and less coffee. I think in the future we'll have to import coffee from other countries.
Yeah. Wow.
And that's because most coffee in Panama grows in Boquete. More than 60% of coffee in Panama grows in Boquete. But Boquete is the place number 4 in the world to get retired. So a lot of people are coming to buy the lands to build houses, and they pay a lot of money for the land, and that's why the coffee growers are not interested in growing coffee anymore. The coffee growers are making more money by selling the lands than growing coffee. One of my friends sold 2 hectares in Boquete. You can stay. Yeah, one of my friends sold 2 hectares in Boquete, 2 hectares for $1.5 million. Now he's retired too.
Yeah.
That's why everybody wants to sell. In Boquete, the cheapest for 1 hectare is $350,000. If you grow coffee in 1 hectare, you're never going to see $350,000, even $50,000 altogether from growing coffee, never. and that's why everybody wants to sell the land. If you walk around Boquete a little bit, you're going to see a lot of signs around. Se vende, se vende, se vende, se vende. Se vende means for sale. I met a person in this coffee tour from UK, and he told me he thought se vende was the name of the town. Se vende means for sale. Yeah. I'm learning English by talking to people, and I just learned another word in English. It is a gated community.
Yeah.
You understand gated community? Yeah, a lot of coffee farms in Boquete are becoming gated communities. I used to say private neighborhoods. You are not allowed to go there if you don't live in there, you know? But, well, I went to pick up some people in a gated community in Boquete. From the gate, from the entrance, it took me about 10 minutes to get in. I had to show my ID. I had to say my name. They wrote down the number of the cab. I forgot the name of the people I was going to pick up, so I had to call back to the office. A lot of restrictions, even for people who are living there. You're not allowed to paint your house the color you want. You're not allowed to have more than one dog. If you take your dog around, you have to take with you a bag and a shovel. You know, a lot of restrictions. They call it gated communities. We didn't know anything about gated communities in Boquete, about condominiums. So that's very new in Boquete. Last 8 years or last 10 years, they came to Boquete. Now there are more than 25 gated communities in Boquete. A lot of them were coffee farms and green areas before. So it takes away a lot of green areas. But there are people from everywhere. I know a lot of people from USA. I know a lot of people from Europe. Lots of Europeans are coming to live in Boquete too. But Europeans don't buy houses in gated communities. They just buy the land and they build castles. There are castles in Boquete.
Yeah, we're staying really close to the castle up there.
The people are living in the castle. It looks like Lego toys.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. The people are living there from Belgium, I think, or Holland, somewhere in Europe.
Holland, yep.
Yeah. So USA brings gated communities to Boquete. Europe brings castles to Boquete. So Boquete is changing a lot. A lot of local people are very happy because they are selling their lands. They are getting a lot of money. A lot of local people are becoming rich. But some local people are not very happy because for local people to buy lands, it's impossible. Lands are too expensive. We cannot afford it. About 65% of Panamanians are getting from $180 a month to $400 a month. For us to pay $350,000 just for the land, that's impossible. And that's why there are different opinions in town. But Mr. Ruiz and a few coffee growers in Boquete, they just had a meeting and they decided not to sell the coffee farms because Panama has the #1 coffee in the world. There is an international coffee contest. In the international coffee contest, you get to see the best coffee from Colombia, the best coffee from Costa Rica, Panama, or Central America. We have to do a local contest. Every country has to do a local contest. So the #1 coffee from every country goes to the international coffee contest in USA or Europe. So Cafe Ruiz was the first Panamanian coffee, was #1 in the world in 2001, 8 years ago. There is another coffee company in Boquete. It's called Finca Lerida from Boquete, #1 in the world in 2004. The other coffee company in Boquete is La Esmeralda. La Esmeralda, #1 in the world in 2005, 2006, 2007. 3 times. And